And that breaking news, a worker at a fast food restaurant on the northeast side killed in an attempted robbery. It is the second deadly shooting at an Indianapolis business today. The first involved two people, a security guard and a patron who died after they exchanged gunfire at Pony Club Indy on the west side early this morning. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Martin. And I'm Dan Klein. Let's head right to Wish TV's Jenny Drasler. She's been following both of these stories for us all evening long. Jenny, let's start with this most recent shooting, which was at the subway near 75th and Shaylin, and you say that police are looking for 3 suspects right now.
Yeah, Dan, there, and I'll step out so you guys can see becoming even more active right now. More police just showing up. Just 3 more police crews are showing up to the scene right now. Very active tonight. Investigators telling me it's going to take a little bit for them to piece together exactly what happened here, but they can tell us this all started around 7:45 tonight. Well, that's what IMPD says, and I want you to listen to this carefully. 3 individuals walked into this Subway restaurant, which is near 71st and Shaylin. They tried to rob it. Here's what you need to know. All 3 were wearing all black, carrying black backpacks. 2 had on black face masks, and the other individual was wearing a leopard face mask. Well, that's when police say some sort of altercation happened between those 3 individuals and an adult male employee that was inside working inside the restaurant at the time. Subway was open when this happened. Well, that's when the suspects shot that employee and took off. That employee died on the scene.
Like I said, there are too many resources available for an act of violence like this. There are too many ways to do things correctly, and we just cannot stress enough that this is not the path that you're to go down, and that this is just not excusable. This is an outrageous act of violence in our city.
Now, it's still unclear tonight what the suspects actually made off with or how they got away, if they got into a vehicle or just simply ran off. It's also unclear tonight how many guns were involved or how many people were inside the restaurant at the time. Now, IPD tells me that they are working on getting some surveillance video of this incident. They want you to make note of, again, those 3 individuals, all 3 wearing all black, wearing black backpacks. 2 of them had black face masks, and 1 was a leopard face mask that that 3rd individual had on. They're trying to get us some surveillance video. We're hoping to get that to you guys by our 11 o'clock newscast tonight. And Brooke and Dan, as you guys just mentioned just a little bit ago at the top of the newscast, this is the 2nd fatal shooting here in the last 24 hours here in Indianapolis. And I spoke to the sister of the security guard who was shot and killed at the West Side Strip Club, and she described her brother. He was 30 years old. He was a tall guy. He was a nice guy. She said that he didn't deserve to die in that way, and they're hoping that that does never happen again.
He was just doing his job. He was just doing what he was supposed to do, which was be the security guard and protect the girls and protect the people inside the building.
Catherine Tex in shock less than 24 hours after her brother was shot and killed at the Pony Indy Strip Club early Monday morning.
When Nick was on shift, you just knew everything was going to run smooth because he wouldn't allow anything else.
But Monday morning, that's not what happened. Police say a patron, 34-year-old Damian Sutton, was escorted out of the facility. That's when investigators say Sutton went to his car, drove around the front of the building, and started a fight with Nick Fine, who was standing guard at the front of the club. And that's when Sutton started shooting. Police say Fine shot back, hitting Sutton in his car. Sutton died at the club. Fine later died at the hospital. Tex, who had previously worked at the club as a cocktail waitress, said her brother had worked there off and on for 5 years and said nothing like this had happened before, only minor scuffles.
It's just all not fair.
Tex says because of the nature of her brother's job, he was allowed to have a gun and did have a gun permit. It's still unclear tonight exactly why Sutton had to be escorted from the strip club. And as police continue to investigate, Tex hopes something like this never happens again.
Just go home. You don't have to fight. You don't have to pull a gun. You don't have to do all that. You just have to go home. Let it go.
Yeah, some emotional words there from that family. Now, Fine's family, they told me that they don't hold any ill will towards the club or the club owners. They just wish that he wouldn't have been outside guarding the club alone. They wanted to work in some sort of a buddy system is what they hope for. Now, I tried to reach out to the club and the club owner. I did make contact with officials there today, but they had no comment on this story. As for the scene behind me here, guys, we're going to be here for quite some time. Again, police are asking you to be on the lookout for 3 individuals, all 3 wearing all black, wearing face masks, 2 black face masks and 1 leopard face mask. If you know anything about this scene going on here behind me, call IMPD, call that Crime Stoppers line. Again, your tip remains anonymous. It's 317-262-TIPS. Live on the Northwest Side, Jenny Drasler, Wish TV News 8.